Hey guys, what's up? John here from fly8mikealpha.com, and today we're going to take a quick look at how to taxi a tailwheel airplane and the ground handling characteristics of tailwheel airplanes, because ultimately a tailwheel airplane is the same as any other airplane when you're flying them in the air, but they're a little bit different when they're on the ground, takeoff, landing, and especially taxiing. So we'll give you a sneak peek at our tailwheel course online at fly8mikealpha.com. Oh, and one last thing, at the end of this video, make sure you go ahead and vote in the comments below on who has the best airplane dance moves, because I definitely have Tori beat. So go ahead and vote either John or Tori in the comments below. Definitely vote for John. Mine are way better than hers. Thanks, guys. See you in a bit. So for starters, how is this any different from steering a 172 or a Piper Cherokee? Well, in your nose dragger airplanes, you have rudder pedals connected to your nose wheel via either metal rods or some sort of bungees that will actually turn the nose gear, and that helps you turn. You can also use a little bit of brake in a nose gear airplane to help you turn. Very similar in a tailwheel airplane. Here, we have a tailwheel, which is connected to our rudder, and it has this little control horn, and you can see the cables going to that control horn are also hooked up to our rudder pedals. So when we're pushing left rudder, it wants to turn the tail wheel to make us turn left, and pressing right rudder, it turns right to make the airplane turn right. Now, compared to a Piper, which is connected with metal rods and is very direct steering, tailwheel airplanes are connected usually via a series of cables and springs, which give you a little bit more free play between the rudder and the tail wheel, similar to that of like a 172 or a Cessna, where it's connected via bungees rather than actual hard rods to the nose gear. So pressing full right rudder in a tailwheel airplane may not result in a sharp right turn, but pressing down on the right brake in a tailwheel airplane along with full right rudder typically will make the airplane want to spin around, and that's when the tail wheel unlocks. And we can see how this tail wheel locks to that control horn, so we actually get the tail wheel turning left when we push on the left rudder and turning right when we push on the right rudder. And then when it's free-castering, when it unlocks, when it goes past 15 or 20 or 30 degrees or whatever preset there is, then it can simply spin around a full 360 nice and easily until it gets realigned with that control horn and then locks back into place. If you're taxiing your airplane in a straight line going down the taxiway, you can probably be assured that the tail wheel is locked to the control horn, and any sort of rudder input you make is going to also put an input on the tail wheel and help you maintain directional control that way. If you just pulled the airplane out of the hangar and the tail wheel is unlocked because you swung the tail around, well, you may have to use a little bit of brake to get the airplane rolling straight first, a little bit left or right brake, and then get the tail wheel locked into place. In the Sea Ray, where there's only one brake handle, and that brakes both wheels, so you don't have differential braking, you actually want to make sure the tail wheel is perfectly straight before you ever get into the airplane. Otherwise, it can be really hard to get the airplane going straight in the first place. Just the airflow over the rudder, although you have some aerodynamic force there, it may not be enough to get the airplane going the direction you want it. So what ultimately turns a tailwheel airplane? Well, aerodynamic force over the rudder, of course, will push the tail left or right. And then, of course, any sort of input from the cables and springs that are connected to your rudder pedal will put a force on the tail wheel to try to turn it left or right and help you turn. And then we have brakes. So like in the Cessna 140 here, we have differential braking where we can hold down one brake and the entire airplane will pivot around that one wheel. And you can see the tail wheel will unlock and turn 90 degrees and let the airplane spin around nice and easily. At the end of the day, just remember this. Don't jam on the brakes. Don't flip the airplane over. When you jam on the brakes, the tail wheel will come up off the ground. It may help you make a really tight turn, but that's more of an advanced maneuver, and it's not something you want to get in the habit of doing. You want to keep that tail pinned to the ground. And also manage your momentum, especially in the sideways and the lateral direction. So manage the tail's lateral momentum. If the tail starts coming around on you, make sure you correct it with rudder, and if that's not enough, correct it with a little bit of differential brake. Keep the airplane going straight. The longer you wait to correct a small deviation, the greater the input it's going to take to first stop that momentum and then get the airplane turned back going straight the direction you want it to. And third, and the most important thing to remember, is my dance moves are better than Tori's. You
gotta still dance and hold the yellow line.
Thanks.
So, yeah. What? You can't judge my airplane dance moves. This is a safe space. No judgment here.
No judgment.
I don't judge your landings.
Fair enough.
I hope you guys enjoyed the little sneak peek into the Tailwheel Pilot course online at fly8mikealpha.com. We cover everything tailwheel, from taxiing, takeoff, landing, three-point landings, wheel landings, high-speed taxiing, low approaches, power-off approaches, side slips, forward slips, using flaps, using no flaps, pavement landings, grass landings, everything, you name it, it's all on there in the course. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share our channel and all of our videos with your friends on Facebook and around the airport. And remember guys, if you can't fly every day, then fly at MikeAlpha.com. We will see y'all next time.